While reviewing Joey King's last like 4 or 5 projects, I kept saying, she seems like a pretty good actress, but she just needs a great project. And this is a great project. It's harrowing for sure. It's intense. It is about the Holocaust, but Joey King really shines in it. Let's talk about We Were the Lucky Ones. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the Hulu miniseries We Were the Lucky Ones. This is streaming 8 episodes right now, and it is a complete miniseries up for your viewing. It features Joey King and Logan Lerman as two of quite a few siblings of a Polish family that gets separated during the Holocaust. And it is based on a true story and a real family, so we'll talk about all of that here in just a moment. First, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are one of my Dan Reviews It subscribers already, thank you so much for that. Always love having you guys return. But if you're not, please consider subscribing and click that notification bell too, so you get the alerts for all my drops. I put a new video up just about every day, sometimes 2 in a day, so there's always a lot to check out here. You could also, of course, just like this video or comment below. That stuff always helps the channel out. And I love interacting with you guys as well, so please do comment with your thoughts. All right, so We Were the Lucky Ones. This is based on a book of the same name by Georgia Hunter, and it is about her family's history and struggle during the World War II era and the Holocaust. And I actually didn't know that this was based on a real story and a real family. I mean, I knew there were, countless stories like this, but until the end credits rolled, in the last episode, and we started seeing the photo montage, and okay, here's, what became of this person and whatever, I really didn't know that this was based on a real family. So, it adds even another layer, but it almost doesn't matter that they're real or fictional, because this happened to, like I said, countless number of families back in that era. And we're in an era now that I fear many families will be separated as well. And so it's very poignant to watch something like this right now. But anyway, so we start in 1938 at Passover, and the Kirk family are gathering for that holiday in their home in Poland, and sort of shielded from some of the other things going on. However, even the prosperous and financially successful end up falling to Hitler's regime, and so they end up being split apart all over Europe, including Poland, the Soviet Union, Italy, and Brazil. And once the war ends, the survivors attempt to reconnect in some way, try to find each other if possible. So you've got, like I said, Joey King and Logan Lerman are really kind of heading this thing up. We follow their characters by far more than the others, and I'm assuming that's because they're the famous ones in here. But also, they are the middle sibling and the youngest sibling, and they're very smart people. Logan Lerman plays Addie, who is one of the middle children, and he is a composer. And Joey King is the youngest, working as a lab assistant for her current brother-in-law. But as the rest of the family, you have Henry Lloyd Hughes, Ahmed Rehav, and Hadass Yaran, and their parents as well, played by Robin Weigert and Lior Ashkenazi. And we also have a familiar face from a bygone era as well. This one took place in the 50s for the most part, a little bit in the 60s. But the marvelous Mrs. Maisels, Maren Hinkle, is here as well. And she encounters the Addie character, Logan Lerman, and she's sort of part of his story. So look, this is a really, really well done family drama. And it's funny, we've seen a rise, I feel like, in World War II movies and television shows and Holocaust stuff. I don't know if that has anything to do in the last few years with, certain recent events, but in any event, we had like Schindler's List, which was like obviously the grand achievement, the Washington on Mount Rushmore of Holocaust media projects, and then a little bit here or there, Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks obviously kept on carrying that torch with things like Saving Private Ryan. But it seems like in the last 3 or 4 years, and maybe part of that is the advent of streaming, that we've had a lot more hours to fill, and things like this, World War II movies and shows, always seem to get the numbers. Apple TV Plus had a really good one last year with Austin Butler called Masters of the Air, and so there are always going to be these projects, but this one, I think, took a lot of sort of familiar things that we've seen before in movies like this and really kind of amplified. I mean, this is an intense show for sure. A lot of these movies end up being a little more sanitized. Okay, let's make this PG. And this is a good movie, so I'm not meaning to slight it. But White Bird, a movie that came out earlier in 2024, was good, and the story was good, but it felt a little sanitized. To be honest, and this is, boy, this gets really, really intense, uncomfortable, hard to watch, and I think that's why we need to watch it. And the Joey King of it all, look, I mentioned this in the intro, she keeps picking these projects, and it's, look, it's not her fault, it's, possibly just what comes her way, whatever, but, and maybe the scripts are good, and then it turns out they're produced badly or whatever when it comes to, but, Joey King, I've always said, seems like a really decent actress, struggling to find a good project, and this is the one. I mean, she is great in this, and Logan Lerman, I've always liked him, but he's great in this as well. And he already did a project with Al Pacino, and I forget what it was called, but it was on Amazon Prime for 2 seasons, and that was very much steeped in his Jewish background and all of that. So he's really, a passionate fighter against, the horrors of things like the Holocaust. And I love that about him. And it's funny because I first took note of him as in the show Jack and Bobby, about the young Kennedy boys, one of the most classically Catholic families we've ever had, right? But no, he's, very, very steeped in his own background as a Jew, and I love that for him. He's so good in this as well. He's always good, but, I think it adds that intensity that it is, kind of his family history and heritage. And I think that adds to his intensity as a performer here as well. And Joey King, like I said, just great. So look, this is probably a hard watch. It really is. And a lot of, like I said, the Holocaust stuff we've seen seems to be a little bit sanitized sometimes. I think we're getting more into this kind of intense era, but this really, really hits the mark on many, many levels. Now, I do have a couple complaints about it. One thing is that because we're focused so much on those two actors and their characters, some of the other characters do sort of fall by the wayside. We don't necessarily attach ourselves as much to them because we just don't simply see them enough on the screen. But, I say a lot, these miniseries, they're too long. They should be, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever. This is the perfect length. This 8 episodes is intense, and I watched 1 episode every night. It was, one of these things where during TV reviews, usually I will only watch like 2 or 3 episodes of something. I'm like, okay, I get it enough to make a review of it. But sometimes there are these shows that just stick with you, and you need to kind of figure out, what's going to happen to these characters and everything. And that was this one for sure. I didn't want to review this until I watched the whole thing because it was one of these things that I really just needed to know what happened with these characters. That's, a testament to the writing, I think, and certainly the acting as well. I leave We Were the Lucky Ones with an A-. Easily one of the best shows for me in 2024, and you can check it out now on Hulu with 8 episodes. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I'll see you next time. Bye.